Today I'm going to show you how to find the least common multiple, or LCM. This is helpful when you are adding fractions. Let's say the fraction you're adding is 1/3 plus 1/4. The denominators are not the same. So we need to find a common denominator. And the way we do this is by finding the least common multiple. And the reason it's the least is because when we find the least common multiple, we will not have to simplify the fraction in the end. A multiple means a number multiplied by a number. So let's look at the multiples of 3. The first multiple of 3 is 3. The next multiple of 3 is 6 because 3 times 2 is 6. The next multiple of 3 is 9 because 3 times 3 is 9. The next multiple of 3 is 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. The next multiple of 3 is 15 because 3 times 5 is 15. Let's look at the multiples of 4. The first multiple of 4 is 4. That's 4 times 1 is 4. The next multiple of 4 is 8 because 4 times 2 is 8. The next multiple of 4 is 12 because 4 times 3 is 12. The next multiple of 4 is 16 because 4 times 4 is 16. And the next multiple of 4 is 20 because 4 times 5 equals 20. So now I want to go through the multiples and see which ones they have in common. So they don't have 6 in common. And see 9. I don't see a 9 down here. 12, yep, I do see a 12. So 12 is the least common multiple. So 12 is the least common multiple. There are more multiples. If I were to write out the multiples, continue to write out the multiples of 3, the next multiple would be 18, because 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. The next one will be 24. So another multiple they have is 24. But I'm not interested in the other multiples. I just want the least common multiple because I won't have to reduce my fraction in the end. So now, back to my fraction, I can now use 12 as a denominator. And then if I were to complete this fraction, adding the fraction, 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 3 times 1 is 3, and then 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4, and I'm adding the fraction. So 4/12 plus 3/12 is equal to 7/12. This cannot be reduced anymore. If the number had been, as a denominator, we use 24, then this number would have been 14, and this number would have been 24. Then I would have had to divide the numerator and denominator by 2. Let's look at the multiples of 2 and 5. So I'm going to write the first 5 multiples of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The first 5 multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So a multiple I see that they have in common is 10. So I'm not going to look for another multiple because I want the least common multiple. Let's look at the next one. Multiples of 12 and 18. So first multiple of 12 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. 12 times 5 is 60. So let's do multiples of 8. 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4, 8 times 5. So I see the multiples that are common between 12 and 8 are 24. So you can actually stop writing multiples when you see that you have one in common. If you don't see that you have one in common, then you can continue. I typically write the first 5 to 7 multiples of numbers before I stop. So the least common multiple is 24. Let's do another one. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So let's do 6, 12, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5. So the least common multiple they have is 12. Let's have you do this one. Stop the video and do it on your own and come back when you're ready. So the first 5 multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And the first 5 multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So I see they both have 15 in common. So 15 is the least common multiple. So this is how you find the least common multiple of a number, and this will help you when you're adding fractions so that you will not have to reduce your fraction answer. Good luck.